going into cycle number 4. And so far, again, you take a look at the group standings. Hasn't necessarily been going the greatest for them. 0-1-3 start, but trying to change that here against Complexity. That's not an easy thing to do, though. Complexity themselves only have 4 points, but 1-1-1 record. Of course, their big standout actually was the 0-2 loss to 2-0, which was definitely a really interesting one there. But there's still plenty of matches to be played for them, including this one here. So I'm joined by Groste once again, so again, this should be fun for you as well. Of course, you are very familiar with these Complexity boys over here, so.
Yeah, very much so.
All right. Well,
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I was going to say, it is always one of those interesting spots now, so just do your best to flame them as much as possible.
Oh, I do, believe me. I did it with Newing.
All right. No, we'll see how they fare today, of course. Definitely the favorites, but we'll see. All right. Plenty into the draft. Let's get into it. Tremble minus Parasite Ophelia were the bans. We have Behemoth into Swiftblade, Moira into Moraxis, Doctor into Fade. Nothing too radical here. Pretty standard stuff coming out. Anything? What do you think?
No, there's not. It's like kind of the standard. I think drafts for just in general. These are just all strong heroes they're kind of going for right now. There's not really much out of the ordinary. There's not like some random pick that isn't constant, but there's a possibility that fade will be a jungle pull fade from what you got.
Okay, really?
I do have all that the inside to Complexity,
Yeah.
so could quite possibly be the jungle pull.
Giving away all these strats right here.
Well, they were going to see it when the game started anyways, right?
If they do it. All right.
That's true. Well, if they don't, then that's awkward.
Then that's really awkward. Okay, Bubbles. Going to be the 4th pick. You got Andromeda in response for Complexity here, so trying to wait to prevent those jumps from being as effective. Obviously, Andromeda's pretty good for that. Reason been right-clicking that Solomon since the beginning. I wonder if this is kind of the idea here, if they're going to actually do something different. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would really fit too well now, especially with that Doctor pickup, so probably not.
They could still take that Solomon. They could always run Doctor in the jungle. And I'm never opposed to Solomon. I think he's an incredibly strong hero.
Yeah.
So, I don't think they're going to go the Solomon. I think it was maybe like in the beginning it was kind of like their first suggestion, like, oh, let's run Solomon here. But they could still pick it.
Got to make adjustments. You never really can have a 5-set lineup going into a game because full of bans and how the other team picks you. It's best to just leave options open, of course. So plenty of time, though, still left for both of these teams, in fact. So that means not a whole lot used to get to this point now with the final pick for either side. They go Drunken, so they wanted a hero that's a little bit stronger to do with Swiftblade, perhaps.
Yeah, that's a good hero. Drunken Master's a very strong 2-hero. He's not the best 1 hero, to run as the hard carry, but he's very good at being that 2nd carry. So I'm totally good for that pick. It's a great pick.
Right-clicking Bombardier over here on the Hellborn side. That would be a little different as well, especially for Complexity. So wondering if that's going to actually be a thing or not. But, I mean, you mentioned that this idea of a jungle pulling Fade. So if that's the case, if they did do that, then I guess they would probably still need their middle hero then. I know they like to run Oscar Moraxis in the offense.
Yeah, they could run that. That Moraxis is pretty versatile. Fuzzy Sloth can play it. Oscar can play it. It's kind of just where they want to put it.
Yeah.
But
Prisoner banned? Yeah, Prisoner was banned. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's going to be Oscar, and they might be looking for Fuzzy Sloth's hero at this point.
Parallax.
But even then, they're right-clicking the Parallax. I would not suggest that of them. I've been watching that.
Nice.
I would highly not suggest that. But I was just thinking about, Fuzzy Sloth also plays the Swiftblade. Okay, well, good luck to them.
Well, yeah, I mean, Parallax
it's a great pick.
It's
a great hero, don't get me wrong.
Uh-huh.
It's just, I'm not sure who's going to play it for them. That's kind of the thing here. I'm not really, okay. All right, so Fuzzy Sloth's going to play it. And I always trust Fuzzy Sloth, so I'm not going to, no flame to him.
Yeah. He's interesting against Doctor because his ultimate maybe isn't going to be like crazy powerful against him, but his silence in general is usually very good against a Doctor, so there is that idea.
The 5-second silence at level I think it's 9 because if you max, well, you don't normally max Q. It could be like 8. It's just based on the skill build, but
Yeah.
you can get some pretty easy ganks off, especially with their team having the Andro, the Meraxis, the Fade, the long range stuns.
All right, again, Parallax, one of the newer heroes introduced into the competitive scene at least, and we've seen a little bit of it. Slaske is the one that's been known for doing it on the scene. That's been fun here. They have a DC. Might want to pause. There we go. Pause is going to come out to start it off here, but yeah. So in the hands of Fuzzy Sloth, though, obviously a great player here, and it's been interesting watching this hero kind of develop in these games. We really haven't had a whole lot of longer games with him. There's one that I do remember, and you could definitely see. I mean, the Earth Shatter, as the game goes on, it's a strong ability. And the one game, too, he actually ended up getting the Staff of the Master. I believe he even built it first, kind of right after his early build. So
that item is incredibly strong on that hero. It just straight through BKB, superior magic. It is a hard ability to deal with because the AoE is just so big on it.
Yeah.
And it's a problem to deal with, and it's always kind of a problem for Doctor because it is kind of based on mana, and Doctor flies around a lot. He's not going to have the most mana unless he gets a kill and he goes Icon. Mm-hmm. So I think actually the Parallax was a good pick, and I think it's going to depend a lot on the Fade because they could still run the Fade as second support, but I see it more as the jungle pull.
Yeah. All right.
But I also do like the Legion's lineup a lot, and I'm excited to see how the game goes on for them because they have a lot of pick potential with the Moira, Doctor, Bubbles, and then the Behe when he gets his portal key.
Mm-hmm. It's 1-2 series going on, guys. Evil Corporation versus Mystery Gang also happening. So again, a tough challenge there for Mystery Gang, being the newcomers to Diamond Division, but really everything is going to be tough when you're the newcomers here. Look at that matchup there, and ooh, they gave Tremble to Imba Boy. That's scary.
You don't want to give Tremble to anyone.
Yeah.
That hero is just not fun to deal with. It's actually funny. I've been watching a lot of the Thai games recently, and Tremble goes to the very end. It's like last picked all the time, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
I mean, as we've seen, their scene definitely is different in several ways. Yes. So.
But I do like watching them a lot. You can learn a lot from watching the Thais.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, hell, DreamHack champions.
Exactly. And watching they were the ones that got the Riptide Prophet idea from, and it is an insane lane combination.
Yeah. Riptide Prophet, really?
Yeah, it's at level 3, they can kill any hero that's in the mid lane. 100%, 0 to 100. 100 to 0. Sorry, not 0 to 100. 100 to 0. That would be pretty bad.
That would not be a good combo. So how is it? Just his damage amp? That
it's the combo of you go level 2 E and Q on Prophet, so you have level 2 E, and the double proc of the stun with Riptide being in water is just so much damage, and the slow on top of it from Riptide.
Gotcha.
It's just so much damage, and it's fun to watch.
So what happens after the laning phase?
Mario Party rolls in and kills the carry.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, the new Prophet is strong. I mean, the new ultimate and how it works, it was definitely a big upgrade for the hero.
Oh, yeah, and I think Prophet itself was always a good hero. It just, it needed a little something, and that ulti change was big.
Yeah. Okay. About this game, though, that's now back, and it resumed here. You do see the Legion side. They're going to protect their jungle at least as much as they can here. Marcus Moore is playing the Doctor, so yeah, double-checking that real quickly. That they're not doing any kind of jungling Doctor here. In the end, he is going to be laning it here. But look at this from Complexity. They're doing the aggressive Trilane, actually.
Okay, so they're not jungle pulling the Fade, which I do agree with, because they're going to put Parallax in the top lane, and Parallax will do great against Drunken Master at about level 3. It'll be pretty in favor of Parallax. And this Swiftblade bot lane can kill mostly anything, especially before Doctor gets 6. Mm-hmm. And it looks like Legion's going to duel lane mid, maybe? I'm not sure where this Moira's going to
go. She put the ward down, so maybe just for that purpose there.
Looks like she's going to go back bottom, but they might need to do some lane switch-ups here. I don't know. Oh, they just saw the tri-lane, so we'll have to see what they decide to do down here, unless they're going to do tri-lane versus tri-lane, which they could do. And it looks like they actually might.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Behemoth much more of a defensive supporting cast, though.
Yeah, definitely.
This.
It's not going to be too aggressive. It could be though, if when Doctor gets 6, but until then.
All right, so Traverse's trial lane though usually causes action. That's the good thing for us here. So looking forward to seeing when it starts taking off as far as that's concerned. I mean, it is double melee as well here for the Hellborn side, so worth keeping in mind as well. You got Fade and Swiftblade, of course, coming out, so there is that as well. But gonna be fun to see how that one shapes up here. We do have the other matchups though before that gets too crazy. Let's go over those. We got the middle one of Bubbles versus Moraxis here. Oscar playing the Moraxis. You got Kurt Svensson playing the Bubbles. So how do you see that matchup playing out?
It'll most likely be in favor of Bubbles, but Moraxis has the E, Hatchet. It's not too hard to get last hits, but Bubbles will most likely win this matchup.
And then in the top lane, Parallax versus Drunken Master. That's definitely not a typical matchup that we have on the competitive scene here.
No, it's definitely not a lane you see very often, but this one should just be pretty in favor of Parallax. He can just harass out Drunken pretty easily.
Yeah. I think that time to die playing the Drunken Master. Again, you got Fuzzy Sloth on the Parallax, though, so see right there, using that Fulcrum Shift, going to keep boxing him out as you're talking about. It's a powerful tool, man. And, I mean, the mana drain it does as well. It's always just got to be, a little bit annoying, too, to top it all off here.
Yeah, because it's just slowly your mana starts dropping, and, if you're not paying attention, suddenly you could be completely out of mana, and you just didn't even realize it.
Yeah. God, that was the other thing, that game that I was talking about where we saw the Staff of the Master coming out earlier on in Parallax. And something else I noticed from that game was his passive. The dude had like 110 charges on his passive, and he had an insane mana pool because of that. That's something. I mean, so I guess it can actually add up pretty fast throughout the game.
Yeah.
And
the later the game goes, the hero kind of it's a scaling hero, which is what makes him so strong.
Yeah. That is true. He is going up against a Moira. That's actually being pointed out. I didn't kind of make that connection initially. So that's a little dangerous. Dr. Pulsar, by the way, bottom lane. This could be the Bloodlust. Spin on top. Andrew's just out of range for his Kama stun. It might not matter, though. The hero blocking coming out, and it will guarantee it as love comes through. So well played there.
I'm not sure how I feel about them abandoning their Doctor down here. I feel like they could either get him into the jungle or put him top lane. Get him out of the bot lane. Not really sure why they're kind of just going to let him sit here and basically die to this tri lane over and over again.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. It's like, you can almost look at that two ways. Like, one, it's like, is that the best decision to be kind of abandoning him? But then two, I mean, I assume he knew that his supports weren't going to be there. So why is he that far up? So
yeah, and he could almost die to these two supports if they catch him.
There's the Comet stun. Is this going to be enough damage, though? No.
He chooses not to stun.
I don't know what that was about. That had to be something like he just wasn't paying attention or what, but
he might have been looking mid or something.
Yeah.
That could have been a pretty easy kill. I mean, a Doctor without level 6. But they're going to catch him.
They're still going to get him, Marcus Moy. Talking about not paying attention, man. He definitely wasn't there. It's almost, again, for the sake of him, but just funny that happened. It was such an obvious gank that he just decided not to go for whatever reason. We're kind of like scratching our head on that, and then they just find him kind of doozing off anyways.
This is already a rough start for the Legion. Oh well, they could maybe get something back here with the hasted Invis Behemoth.
Level 1.
Level 1 hasted Invis Behemoth. I don't know what they're gonna plan here.
Don't know what to make of this. It seems like it should be really powerful for killing somebody, but yeah, it's a level.
It's only level 1.
It's
the problem. And Moraxis is about to get 6 off this creep right here.
Yeah, you're not killing Moraxis, so what's the point?
There it is. And Doctor's gonna be in a lot of trouble again.
Is he?
He's gonna see it, but yeah,
he's gonna see that his death is coming this time.
Yeah.
Double taunt.
It's hard when you lose laning phase like this, especially when one of your lanes is guaranteed to lose. Ooh.
Parallax top lane. Earth shatters up. You see the damage kicking in. Oh, the stun is going to be enough. He tried to pour it away, but Fuzzy Sloth is picked up. You see time to die there, just manning up against the Parallax.
and he almost died. That hero is very strong, even early game, very strong. But it was a very good gank. They needed to do something, and that was the right decision. Because I think that's really the only lane they can kill at this point.
Yeah, so 5.5 minutes in.
I'm a little surprised that Oscar is doing so well mid. I don't feel like he should have been doing this well. I feel like this lane should have been... Oh,
Yeah,
in
Fate's,
the jungle.
Fate's kind of been in this interesting spot here as he got this on a bubbles, though, preventing him from porting. And that's going to be the difference to getting away right here. Wow.
Yeah.
He pops a health potion. Kelphil comes out, though, so maybe not getting away, actually. Still not too shabby. That's ultimately 3 heroes. I wasted a lot of time, and he got a Kelphil even out of it.
Yeah, that was a lot committed to just kill the one fade. Did he? See, I figured he was... I'm not sure why he was over there. He didn't even put a ward like behind mid or something. He just... kind of just sitting in there, so
Yeah.
that's kind of odd.
Almost like he was playing like he still had the Andro near him, so...
Yeah.
that
Well,
wasn't
now
the case.
Andro is babysitting top, so...
Well, he's waiting for a chance, but again, Drunken's not the easiest to kill either with that. Oh, he doesn't have his ultimate actually just yet. Just to pass it up.
Actually, it's not the worst to not level up this game because they only have one really targeted spell, and that's on the Andro, and he can just disjoint the comet anyways. Oh,
They're going in.
can't disjoint the
Yeah, they are. They're going to try to Drunken Master right here. That Earth Shatter again. Tickets for some damage at least. And eventually going to help secure the kill on him. Behemoth, even with the fissure stun, not enough there. Maybe even almost hurting him a little bit because just the pathing causing issues. Secured the kill.
Yeah, definitely a good kill for them. Parallax already has his mana ring, and Doctor is dead.
Again? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Swift slashes, this time to a solo Swift play, but he's gotten such a big advantage here. He's obviously 3 levels advantage himself. He's got those early Ghost Marchers especially. You know how deadly that can be, so...
Yeah, and Love put up a great defensive ward for Swiftblade, and he really can't get caught as long as he has spin up.
400 gold per minute, but perhaps more importantly, Dr. Repulsor, 118 GPM. A doctor that started in a defensive trial lane. Granted, they kind of rotated that from that very early on, but still not good.
The whole abandoning him bot lane is just, it's, you know, they've kind of lost all their lanes at this point, and there's really not much they can do. And Parallax is going straight for the icon. I just saw him pick up the glowstone.
Yeah, he must be farming very well. I actually wasn't even paying attention to that, but yeah, 350 gold per minute, so he's looking pretty damn good. He's just sitting on the red boots here, but... Yes,
Oh wow! If you look at
necessary.
the creep kills this game, it's gonna tell a story.
It's a lot to little.
Yeah, it's.
Oh,
But-
Morgus.
Ooh.
Thought she might have gotten out there, actually, but TP, not in time. But yeah, I mean, yeah, checking that out, it's very obviously well in favor of complexity, too. So it's definitely a very one-sided match here so far.
I
Middle
don't
lane.
think they can. Yeah.
No, Bubbles will be fine here, probably. Yep. Oh, he baits out the shelter.
Oh, actually hit the root on him. Interesting. The root doesn't stop the Q though, but
No.
if it did, that would have been. It actually could have been a kill.
So,
Yeah, I think.
Yep.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just going to say Swiftblade just farming away at the bottom lane, so
Oh yeah.
they're not stopping
Well,
that.
I think they need to put Doctor in the jungle at this point. They have no one farming it, and he's so vulnerable in this lane unless they have 3 heroes sitting behind him. It's just they need to just put him into the jungle. They don't have anyone farming anyways, and they have some stacks. They have 1 stack, but yeah, it's just he shouldn't be sitting in lane anymore. The Swiftblade can just kill him.
Here comes Andro once again. Drunken doesn't have his ultimate just yet. He is going to go on a Parallax, actually. Andro needs to react to this. No stun coming out. He is going to actually stun Bubbles, who just shell-surfed in. He launched the Kelphil, the fidget stun as well, while Parallax gets enough damage to stay alive, and now the Earth Shatter to help turn on a Bubbles, and now he sends it to Behemoth. That Fulcrum shift. He's not going to chase, though. Behemoth on the run. Drunken Master off to the side of the Ghost Marchers. He's thinking about it, but Behemoth is going to be caught, eventually killed off, and Swiftblade catches Drunken Master, who was contemplating that whole time off to the side, eventually gets caught anyways. It is just 100% complexity here as we're approaching 10 minutes in right now, and it's definitely one of those games where I don't know if that's changing here.
Yeah, it's unless they get the annihilation on the Doctor at this point, there's not much they can do. I mean, Doctor is 6. They can maybe try to set up a gank with 5 heroes on the, maybe the Swiftblade if they can catch him out of position. But they kind of need to do some sort of smoke play to even remotely put themselves back into this game.
Yeah. It really goes back to the beginning of the game of the laning phase, the decision to kind of just abandon Dr. Repulsor. And again, the mix of wanting to do that, but then Doctor's still pushing as far up as he was. I mean, it just started, he got killed early on, and it really snowballed with that. And not only abandoning him too, but they didn't really accomplish a whole lot elsewhere. I mean, what were they going to do at the top lane?
Exactly.
They couldn't get there for a kill on Parallax as he was playing a very defensive, so...
In reality, they only had one lane that could have won, and that was their Bubbles lane, and that also lost. So it's even harder at that point when your one lane that should win had some problems.
I definitely find this, and now that I'm thinking about it more and more too, I believe we did see a bit of this on Tuesday where he pointed it out even, is that when a team does go through some roster struggles, some roster changes here, such as recent gaming, one of the biggest things that you are going to notice usually is the lack of teamwork with this new roster, the lack of communication, lack of leadership, whatever it may be. It's that same idea that they almost seem a little chaotic as far as what they want to do as a team, and they've kind of fallen into that phase here because of cycle number 4 and these transitions. And again, this is a team that got top 4 last cycle. They qualified for the playoffs, but at the same time, it's not the same team because of those roster changes. So they're feeling that here.
It's just a timing thing. They need that one definite voice that when it says something, that's what you follow. It's every team needs it. It's just obviously it's a team game, and the team should be making decisions in general, but you also need that one voice that says, let's go push this tower, let's go do this, whatever it may be.
Yeah. All right, so here, Complexity definitely has that. They're looking really
they
good.
do. I have to listen to it all the time.
Who is the most talkative? It's not Oscar, I know that.
No. Oscar says a couple things, maybe even the whole game, but he's actually gotten a lot better. But a lot of the time it's Love and Formless and even What You Got a lot.
Okay.
But mostly it's Love in the early game. He'll make a lot of calls of what he wants to go do.
Interesting. Oh, Moira, been a lane, by the way. Oh, something we are seeing here. We talked about the Ion Stone. He actually picks it up. It's fun to see, at least. Apparently, Ramati. This is a new player, by the way. I definitely don't recognize that name. But he likes it.
And, it's not... See, the problem is this game, it's like they don't have control of the river. Kind of odd to, pick up that item, and they're not doing anything with it. Like, it's hard when they're not getting runes in general. But
yeah.
I mean, even Hellborn is farming the whole Legion's jungle while the Hellborn is farming theirs. So, I don't know if there's much they can do at this point. And most likely Doctor's going to die right here.
He has the ward. I mean, he shouldn't, but if he does...
Mirax has a PK, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Mirax was going to PK on him and hit the stun, but... There's 4 heroes sitting behind him now. This could be something they could try to make a play out of.
Yeah, they definitely could. You do see Andrew and Miraxis now coming back down here. But again, this ward aside, this is a chance here for the Legion team to get something out of this. Drunken Master, in fact, he's charging in. They're going to jump Andrew. I really think they should have maybe gone for Miraxis there, because Andrew was the easy kill. Now they're going to catch Swiftblade, but here comes Miraxis, looking to maybe try to turn this. Pops that Matrix, and Spit comes out. Again, they're so weak right now. The 2 of the heroes just or Doctor at least, who went down right there. I guess the Illusion was the other. And now Swiftblade gets caught there. He has some slashes, but he couldn't get it off. That's a big kill. Level 2 slow slashes couldn't get them off, but Miraxis jumps back in. Burning Shadow stun on top of that. They still want these kills. A double tap for Oscar will be that result, and I think the end of it coming up here.
That actually wasn't the worst possible situation for the Legion team. They did kill the Swiftblade, which is pretty crucial at this point. He was getting a little bit out of control, so... yeah, I mean, best case scenario was that right there, so...
Yeah. But meanwhile, Parallax is top.
Yeah, and already has his icon, so he's going to go look to fight. I think he should get this tower. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, boy. He went back in. He went back in for the tower kill. He is going to use that Fulcrum.
Yeah.
And the Onyx dash to get out of here. But Doctor can also chase pretty damn well. Yep, it is going to be enough.
That's a good kill. Did they deny the tower?
Yes, they did.
They did. Okay, so yeah, that was good. They got something. They got the kill on the Parallax, which is a big kill at this point. Problem is they're going to lose mid tower for it, but at least they got one deny and a kill out of it.
They got more access though. The
geez.
Invis rune. He was sitting on top. Yeah, he was waiting for his Matrax to come up, which is level 2 now. And he ends up just jumping him because he had no mana, so he couldn't get away anyways. An easy kill there, so.
Yeah, it's a rough game for Marcus Moy. He kind of just got abandoned in the bot lane, and maybe they could have done something a little bit better to him, but there's not much they can do now. It's just, in my opinion, it sounds kind of mean, but, you know, they should really just, you know, CC, go new, go fresh, forget this game happened. Because, you know, it's really hard to sit in a game where they know they're this far behind.
Yeah.
And, you know, really try to make a comeback when it's, you know, it's against the best team right now, arguably the best team. So it's, you know, it's up to them if they want to stay into it, but at least in my opinion, it's nice, you know, just to CC go, all right, new game, let's start from fresh. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely refer to that every now and then when we do have instances like this. Ideally not often, but it does happen. And exactly, it is always interesting to kind of hear the inside of the co-caster I do have on at the time of, you know, what that mentality is and is it worth sticking around as you're getting at there. This game especially, it's pretty obvious that this is not a good game, especially when your carry is just getting so locked down throughout it, and yeah, it probably is the best to move along. But they are going to stick around for at least a little longer here, 16.5 minutes in. So it's not like it's been the longest game here necessarily, but maybe it's one of those cases of give it one more shot here kind of deal. Behemoth, he's still a little bit away from that portal key, but you see all 5 of them kind of grouped up down here. I mean, they're basically sitting behind a Dr. Repulsor as he's pushing the lane up, so it's...
This isn't a bad decision. Hopefully they get over... Okay, yeah, it is.
It's not a bad decision until it becomes a bad decision.
Yeah, it's a bad decision now.
They're dead.
It wasn't a bad decision in the regard that they needed to do something, and maybe they'll catch one hero that tries to kill him. But, it was a bad decision.
Yeah.
In the end, it was a bad decision.
And the items continue to pour in here for the Hellborn side. Firebrand on Swiftblade. You have Parallax. He's sitting on a Mighty Blade. I do wonder if we are going to see that staff here, or if it's actually just going to go a Shrunken Head. I mean, it would be good against the Sleeper team, but...
they're so far ahead. He can just go for the staff if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume he would do. Yeah, Legion team needs PKs. They need PKs on their core heroes, which is the Bubbles and the Behe. And I mean, the Behe's not too far off if they can maybe get a PK and then get a big fight off. But, you know, that's really going to be it. That's their last chances. If Behe gets a big fight on a whole creep wave and they just ulti everything.
Feels like it's going to be one of those games. You get it on, you get the portal key on Bubbles and Behemoth, you try for a fight. If it works, then maybe start it a little bit longer. If it doesn't, then okay, let's just move on to the next. Now, this is not going to help that, unfortunately. Behemoth will get caught by Moraxis there, who then pops the Arcane Shield against the Shards of Harkon and gladly accepts it, so runs away.
Except his free ticket out of there.
Yep. That's obviously a very strong hero against Moyer for that reason alone. And yeah, Swiftblade is just going to even continue pushing in the bottom lane here, so...
they're not really afraid of anything at this point.
No.
And then, they have no vision up at this point. I don't think they have one. Oh, they have one ward up, and it's not, it's not really doing anything for right now. So, and they have an eye already on the Andro, and it's just, I feel bad for them. It's really hard to sit in this game. I would be yelling at Complexity to CC at this point, even as the ringer.
Well, you always like to go a little further even kind of analyzing things here. I think it's pretty obvious that, the adjusting when they did, especially, did not help their chances as Fade Middle, oh my gosh. They did not have any way to see him if he went invis, and he did, so.
Yeah.
Nearly got the kill even so, but they did not, and just adds more insult to injury here. But, I mean, this draft, it seems just pretty solid overall, so it's hard to say that the draft was necessarily bad here, but...
No, it was more of the laning phase. As soon as because they did see the tri-lane before it even came to lane, they should have just made the call to, all right, let's just put Drunken in the bottom lane, let him suffer, and let's go tri-lane the Parallax top with the Doctor. Just get Doctor away from the tri-lane, because Doctor is not a tri-lane hero. And he's... well, there's 4 heroes sitting behind him, 3 heroes sitting behind him.
Yeah, so this could work out if they fall for that, but I think Bubbles is going to chase out. They think it's just Swiftblade. He missed. Oh, mate. Okay, he didn't get the stun on Bubbles, but Swiftblade does get bursted, but Moraxis not as easy to burst with that Matrix. He's going to run away, blinks into the Arcane Vortex coming out now. You got Andromeda running over as well. Buyback, by the way, on Swiftblade. He's also charging in. They are going to take out Faye, now trying to retreat right here. As Mora can't do so, neither can Bubbles. A 4-for-1 exchange, 4-for-2, we'll call it.
Yeah, and bloodbath on Oscar.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 10-0-1.
Yeah. You know, that's the nice thing with complexity. You know, when you look at their roster, you know, back in the old days, Oscar was their mid player and Fuzzy Sloth was their suicide.
True.
But, you know, they're so versatile as a team, they can just swap whenever they want. And that's, you know, you never know normally it is Fuzzy Sloth, but you just never know with them.
Let's check it into the other series real quickly, too, to see how that one's going. And it looks like they're setting up for their second game, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that Evo Corporation won the first game there against Mystery King. We'll double check.
Yeah, they did have Tremble, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to lose with that, Joe.
Pretty safe bet there, but yeah, we'll double check that after this one here. But Kongor, that's going to be an easy Kongor kill, really. And Swiftblade will, might as well get the token. Obviously, Complexity still doing what they should and need to be doing here, just getting the objectives done, and then eventually working off of that here.
Doctor just died in half a second.
Yeah.
You get caught by that fade with Parallax, there's just no surviving. And well, Fuzzy Sloth did buy post haste. He didn't end up finishing any item. He just bought the post haste. Well, he did finish an item, but not like the Shrunken or the Staff.
Yeah, and again, a lot of that probably has to do with just simply how this game has gone here now. It's out of control, well in your favor. Have a little bit of fun with it. Try to just keep that going even is the idea. So, yeah, again, a recent game, it really is at a point of, it's one thing to just say it for the sake of, like, you know, we as spectators just feel like, okay, yeah, let's move on. You're not going to win this game.
Yeah.
But at the same, but it really, as a player, I cannot see this being anything but bad for your mentality going into a second game now. That you're, especially as a player like Marcus Moy here, you're the captain, you're the drafter of the team, you're the carry as well, you happen to be, and you have 9 deaths at 22 minutes into the game. You haven't been able to get anything going. And it's just continuing because your team's not conceding. So it's like, where's the positives here with staying in this?
I mean, in my opinion, if they wanted to keep going this game, they should have called a vote to pause. You know, sat there, talked it out for a second. All right, what do we need to do, you know, to get us back in the game? You know, at this point, they're kind of just running around. You know, they have no set play right now. Like, what do we do to get back in the game? But it's just rough.
Okay, so they did just get the Portokian Behemoth. So, again, maybe this was the ultimate goal here of let's get the Portokian Behemoth and Bubbles. And now they have that, so now they'll see what they can make happen coming up here at least, as Moraxis just kills the illusion off right away. Trying to counter ward right there, says no counter ward for you. And they're just going to freely push in the middle tower now as well. Drunken Master, I mean, he is continuing to just grind it out a little bit as well. He happens to be the one that's been doing all right throughout here. Of about 330 GPM now, so he has a Soul's Bulwark trying to work on a Shrunken Head, but the last outer tower is now going to be destroyed. And if you're Complexity, I would think it's just, might as well keep pushing here.
Yeah, might as well go hit the base. They still have token on Swiftblade.
Why not try for that here?
Well, it is Complexity, though. They might have to wait for the next token.
Yeah, good call. The game's only 24 minutes in. They have to be at least 50
They have
minutes.
to drag it out somewhat. You know they can't.
To be fair, it is interesting with that because I will say Complexity, especially this season, has definitely stepped up in terms of the game time. They've become a lot more of an active team. So
yeah, it's more fun to watch now for the spectators.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
And it's even doing better for them, as you can see. You know, they're winning a lot more games now. They're not, you know, losing those games they should win, and you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
Max has a Hellflower. Oh boy.
Yes, he does. 10-0-1 will help, and he's going to help use it on here on Drunken. So again, the one that's at least been doing all right is now dead here. And okay, see, and then when things like this start happening, it's just like, come on. But Bubbles buys a Codex pattern. And then he sells it for half gold.
I mean, at least they're still trying to keep the spirits up.
Yeah.
You look at it that way, but I mean, you know, it's still their mentality. They should just go new, start fresh, go new.
Yeah. Come on now.
Dr. Repulsor with the 3 apprentice robes, trying to get that extra intelligence.
Yeah, that is interesting when we see that. I know it's not the And we have seen this before in actually even a more serious game. Okay, here we go. That's a token Swift Blade, though, guys. Come on. He just used, like, everything on a token Swift Blade. And now they have to fall back. I mean, I guess it wasn't everything, but the Shockwave was the big thing. And now this is, of course, a big opening here for Complexity to go through. No Shockwave to deal with. They do still have the kill field. Of course, Dark Master up. Arcane Vortex is going to be down, though, and Moira dead anyways. So there's that as well. But Behemoth's still going to do his best to keep them boxed out here.
Yeah, they're not hit. Well, he did it a little bit too early because the creeps really weren't even there. But yeah,
Oops.
let's just see what happens here. I mean, maybe the dream is alive.
Dream is probably not alive.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
a jump,
Dream's not
Earth Shatter.
Yeah.
It went as expected, ladies and gentlemen. It went as expected. There we go. GG well played will be called. And it will be a victory for Complexity. So, drawn out there a little bit, but, I mean, in the end, Complexity did come through, and they took care of business here in their first game against Reason Gaming. So, yeah, I mean, I think we really touched on most of it there. Just simply Reason Gaming have to figure something out in terms of this cycle, especially with this new roster that they're running with. Still trying to get a good feeling for it, it seems like here. So,
Yeah, definitely.
final thoughts yourself before we go on the break?
Reason just needs to reset. They need to just pretend that game never happened and just go in with a fresh mentality.
Yeah. All right.
That's about it.
We'll see if they're able to do that here. Moving on, we got game number 2 going to be coming up here on Honcasting on the group stages. Definitely looking forward to seeing what Reason Gaming has for the draft this time around. Complexity looking strong as expected, though. The defending cycle champions, after all. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We have game number